both from each side, and I saw the Prophet ﷺ's ear appear between each two, or between from each side. Like he has two in each side, and his ear was in the middle between them. She saw that I saw him in Mecca when he entered Mecca. So that shows that his hair is long, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Arab people in that time, it was very common for their men to braid their hair. Also, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the first of his life, he didn't used to part his hair, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He will not part his hair. Because in that time, the people of book, the Jewish and Christian, they used to part, the Jewish and Christian, they do not part their heads. But the kuffar, the disbeliever in Mecca, the mushrikeen in Mecca, they used to part their hair. But the people of book, they used not to part their hair. So the Prophet ﷺ, he has to choose. He should part his hair like the kuffar, the disbeliever, or not like the people of book. So he chose to copy the people of book because at least they are Jewish and Christian holding to a book or a message. But after the Prophet ﷺ opened Mecca and there is no more disbelievers remain in Mecca, he started parting his hair sallallahu alaihi wasallam in order not to copy the mushrikeen, to copy the people of book. So in end of his life sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it ends up with parting his hair sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as I told you, his hair was so black, and he had no gray hair or white hair, except a few. Anas radiallahu anh said, I counted them 20 white hair in his beard and his head. In some narration, I counted them only 14. Sometimes you will surprise, how come 14 and 20? You might say they were 14 then increased, and some said no. Because the Prophet ﷺ used to use the hinna. The Prophet ﷺ, he used to use the hinna, and he will mix the hinna with another herb, it's called kutum. It's give a very dark color to the hair. It almost looks like black, but it's not. It's a very dark brown color. And he will, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, mix the hinna with this herb, the kutum, together. Then he will, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yasbugh, yani, dye his beard and his head, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with it. He will dye his beard and his head with it, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Therefore, some of the Sahaba said the Prophet ﷺ hair was like reddish, red. But it was not red, it was from the hinna. It was from the hinna. Therefore you see some of the narrations said, I have one of the Prophet ﷺ hair and it was red. As a matter of fact, it wasn't red, but because of the hinna, they used to put it in the head. The henna is a kind of herb also. The people use it, and it's very healthy for the hair, and make the hair very healthy, and make the hair looks shiny. And that shows you something, that the Prophet ﷺ used to take care of his hair. And the Prophet ﷺ said, "Man kana lahu sha'r falyukrimh." Whoever had or whoever grows hair, he should take care of it. Therefore, Imam Ahmad was asked, why you do not grow your hair? You're not allowed your hair to be long. You cut your hair, it's not the sunnah. And Imam Ahmad used to follow the sunnah. He said, rahimahullah, la taqata lana bih. He said, Imam Ahmad, it's very hard to maintain the hair, to keep it in a good shape. So if you cannot take care of your hair, cut it. Don't keep it messy or looks bad, or you don't clean it. cut it and make it short so it can be easier for you. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to brush his hair, and he will let Aisha radiallahu anha do that, even though while he's making i'tikaf. He's making i'tikaf now in the masjid. He left everything out from this dunya and he's in the masjid. He will go to his, his house next to his masjid. He will put sallallahu alaihi wasallam his head from the window. He's in the masjid and the window open toward the masjid. He will put his head inside his home through the window, and he will let Aisha to wash it and brush it and braid his head. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So how much he take care of himself sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to looks nice. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam hair was so beautiful, as I told you. And everybody said that when he saw him sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He had the most beautiful face. In so many narrations, the Sahaba said, like radiyallahu an Jabir, he said, I was looking to the moon when it was a full moon night, and I was looking to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam face. Wallahi, that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam face was more beautiful than the moon when it is full moon. لقد كنت أنظر إلى وجه رسول الله وأنظر إلى البدر ووالله لوجه رسول الله أحلى وأجمل من البدر. Ibn Abbas said, when you see his face, you will see light comes out of it. Nur comes out of his face, very shiny. The Prophet ﷺ face was a rounder face, as you see been described like a full moon. But in fact, it was not exactly a rounder face. It's not a round, like a circle, no. Almost a rounder face. As Ali radiallahu anhu said, وَكَانَ وَجْهُ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صلى الله عليه وسلم ليس بالمكلثم، يعني ليس بالمدور تماما. وفي رواية قال كان في وجهه تدوير. Al-Barrak was asked once, is the Prophet ﷺ's face looks like the sword? They mean long face. He said, no, it was like the full moon. As a matter of fact, it was more beautiful than the full moon, he said. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, his face, as I told you, was shining. Very shining. In this beautiful face, he had a wide eyes, beautiful eyes. Whoever looked to his eyes, he will imagine that he had kuhul, but he didn't. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It looks like naturally as if it has kuhul. His eyes, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wide. وكانت عيني النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم شقها بعيد. The Prophet